Okay, so the book we're reading today is The Last No-No by Jill Murphy. I like this title. I think it looks really cute, right? Okay. So, Marlin sat on the floor watching TV. Marlin's granny sat in the armchair watching Marlin. "He's getting too old for that pacifier," she said sternly to Marlin's mom. "It's a no-no," said Marlin. "He calls it a no-no," explained Marlin's mom. "Well, whatever he calls it," said Marlin's granny. "He looks ridiculous with that stupid big thing sticking in his mouth all the time." "He doesn't have it all the time," soothed Marlin's mom. "Only at night or if he's a little tired. He's a little tired now, aren't you, sweetie?" "Mm-hmm," said Marlin. "His teeth will start sticking out," warned Marlin's granny. "Monsters' teeth stick out anyway," observed Marlin. "Don't answer back," said Marlin's granny. "You should just throw them all away," she continued. "At this rate, he'll be starting school with a pacifier. At this rate, he'll be starting work with a pacifier. You'll just have to be firm with him." "Well," said Marlin's mom, "I'm thinking about it. We'll start next week, won't we, Marlin? Now that you're a big boy, we'll just get rid of all those no-nos, won't we?" "No," said Marlin. "You'll see," said Marlin's granny. "One word from you, and he does as he likes." There was no doubt about it. Marlin was a hopeless case. Oh no. Marlin's mom decided to take drastic action. She gathered up every single no-no she could find and dumped them all in the trash can 5 minutes before the garbage truck arrived. But Marlin had made plans just in case the worst should happen. He had secret no-no supplies all over the house. Sneaky little bugger. There was a yellow one down the side of the armchair, a blue one at the back of the bread box, various different types in his toy ambulance, and his favorite pink one was lurking in the toe of his boot. Sounds a little gross to me, but... His mother and granny were astonished. They could not think where he kept finding them. "You'll be teased when you go out to play," warned his granny. "A great big monster like you with a baby's pacifier?" Marlin knew about this already. The other monsters had been teasing him for ages, but he loved his no-nos so much that he didn't care. The other monsters often lay in wait and jumped out at Marlin as he passed by with his no-no twirling. "Who's a big baby then?" jeered Basher. "Does the little baby need a pacifier?" Alleghania sneered. "Who's his mommy's little darling?" cooed Bompsadaisy. Marlin always ignored their taunts. "You're just jealous," he replied. "You all wish you had one too." Gradually, the secret supply of no-nos dwindled. Marlin's mom refused to buy any more, and they all began to be lost or thrown away by Marlin's mom. Finally, there was only one left, the pink one. Marlin kept it with him at all times, either in his mouth or under his pillow or in the toe of his boot, where no one thought to look. To his delight, Marlin found one extra no-no that his mom had missed. It was a blue one that had fallen down the side of his bed and been covered up by a sock. He knew his best pink no-no wouldn't last forever, so he crept out and planted the blue one in the garden. Wonder what he's doing with that. All the other monsters decided to gang up on Marlin. They collected lots of different pieces of junk and fixed them all together until they had made just what they wanted. It was a no-no snatcher. Oh no. Then they waited behind a bush until Marlin came past with his pink no-no twirling. "Here he comes," said Alleghania. "Grab it," yelled Bompsadaisy. "Now," said Basher. With one quick hooking movement, they caught the ring of the no-no with the no-no snatcher and pulled. But Marlin clenched his teeth and held on. Monsters have the most powerful jaws in the world. Once they have decided to hang on, that's it. Marlin hung on. The monsters hung on too, to the no-no snatcher, and there they stayed, both sides pulling with all their monster might. Who's gonna win? And there they would still be if Marlin had not decided just at that very moment that perhaps he was too old to have a no-no anymore. So he let go, and all the other monsters went whizzing off down the road, across the park, and into the pond with a mighty splash. Marlin went home. "I've given up my no-no," he said. "I sort of threw it in the pond." "Good gracious me," exclaimed Marlin's mom, sitting down suddenly with a shock. "I told you," said Marlin's granny, "you just have to be firm." "Actually," said Marlin, "I've planted one, so I'll have a no-no tree just in case I change my mind." "That's nice, dear," said Marlin's mom. "Nonsense," said Marlin's granny. "Pacifiers don't grow on trees. A no-no tree? How ridiculous." Guess it ain't so ridiculous after all, is it? Look at that, all them no-nos. The end. Good book.